Good evening and welcome to our latest Elite FPL podcast. The three amigos are back in town. We're back together. Going to be reacting to all things game week 22. I've got my two compadres, Steve-O and Jason. Jason, back from South Africa. How are we, guys?
Hello, everybody.
Hello there. Yeah, I'm bloody great after yesterday, and that match has just ended just now. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the most fearsome attacking trident since Neymar, Suarez and Messi. You've got the three of us back together, back as normal. If you're in the chat, say hello. Tell us about your team for game week 22. Tell us about all your reactions to the game week results. And yeah, we're just going to, as I said, recapping everything that happened yesterday. Obviously, Steve-O did his solo podcast yesterday and also reacting to today's games. Obviously, United have beaten Tottenham by 1-0. Everton have beaten Bournemouth, and we've obviously still got Man City and Wolves coming up. But yeah, just going to hand over to Steve-O now. He's going to recap with the results from obviously yesterday and today, and tell us also how it affected everything FPL-wise, really.
Well, anybody that watched the solo podcast yesterday, I really do thank you again for joining me yesterday. It was a bit of fun. As you can see all now, it's all back to reality. This is when Jason, the tech guy's back, and it's really good. He will be obviously monitoring the chat as it stands, but I'm going to be really selfish, and I'm going to go over my team first, Dan, if you don't mind, because I'm so angry at what's happened today. When I see that the score has ended, it's like, what's that code in the computer world where it's like, you'll know this, Dan, it's like the old 1010 codes, and it only uses specific digits.
Binary, yeah.
Right, Steve-O, you keep going portrait, by the way. Your phone, I don't know why.
We may be having a few technical issues, but please bear with us. Please keep listening, and we're all human.
So, anyway, reading the scores, it's like a bloody binary code. 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, 0-0, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0. It's ridiculous. And then when I see Spurs lose 1-0 to United, a team that can't even keep a clean sheet against Cardiff or Huddersfield. And who've I got on the bench? First sub? Oh, yeah, you guessed it. That defender that you all laughed about regarding Lindelof. Oh, he's got me a clean sheet. And I'm probably going to click now. I'm sorry to be really angry, but this game really does drive me up the wall. Oh, he's not going to get any bonus. That's a bonus then, isn't it? For me, but... yeah, I'm not happy with this game week whatsoever. I was really, really confident going into this that Kane would get me a minimum of an assist, a minimum of something, nothing. And yeah, it's been an absolute disaster. I'm not even going to go over it fully here, but yeah, it's been a real nightmare this game week. I think this is up there with. I'm going to end up on 30 points. I've still got Sterling to play tomorrow and Patrizio, but Sterling's form at the moment is terrible. Patrizio never gets any save points. So I'm going to be getting on a minimum of probably about 4 points tomorrow. I'm going to be doing something with you guys in the chat later, which is going to help me with my transfers because I'm going to do them live on the podcast tonight now, but we're going to do that later. Jason, I'd rather you talk about your team. Welcome back. I'm loving the fact you're back. Let's talk about your team. I'm sick to death of speaking. You're on 56 points, I believe, at the moment. And yeah, mate, take it away. Digne.
Right, I'll bring my team up. Hang on a second, yeah. Digne again. Right, one moment.
Back.
Right, so... well, hello everybody. It's glad to be back. It's been a very, very hard couple of days travel back from South Africa. We had just a real long journey in the plane flight, 12 hours on the plane with an 18-month-old. I've got like a sore throat, I think, from the recycled air that they have in planes. It's horrible. But anyway, we're not here to talk about holidays because I'm sure you guys all want one. We're here to talk about football and fantasy football, namely. We've got John McKeown and Vince Chapman and Simon Bellamy in chat. Now, Simon Bellamy, incidentally, he just commented on our Instagram saying, "Is David De Gea Superman?" Honestly, David De
I
Gea,
agree.
rightly so, man of the match. He's the only reason we took 3 points out of that game. Rashford had what amazing goal, good finish, clinical finish, cementing his place into that United 11. But I will say now, David De Gea, bonus 3, he should be getting bonus 6. He played absolutely phenomenal. And could it be that now the 1-0 win, Lindelof, the man that Steve-O's got in, and quite rightly, people were questioning his decision bringing him in, but United have got some great fixtures, and that's a great way into a United defence. So, Steve-O, you're on about making some changes. I certainly wouldn't make that change. But anyway, we're here to I'll just talk about... I know. We'll talk about my team and how it's performed. Now, it was a pretty disappointing start to the game week, obviously with Arsenal losing to West Ham. Aubameyang, he failed for me for the second time this season. I've captained Aubameyang and he failed. Back in game week 17, he also failed for me as well. He was leading the expected goal charts. His stats are great. And he only returned 3 shots in that game and only 1 key pass, for those of you that follow the statistics out there. So far this season, I've had 17 out of 22 captains return points for me, which is 78%. So I'm pretty happy. I'm not too upset about missing out on this week. So in all, I'm pretty happy.
Can I interject, Jason? What my reaction when I first saw your team was, why haven't you captained Salah?
Yeah,
I actually thought that you had actually captained him. Then I realised, he hasn't.
Yeah,
I
had the armband on him, but then I was looking at a few things really. I could see goals in the Arsenal game. West Ham's defence. Valbuena's out injured still. It was a bit one of those because I knew I had Fabianski playing, so I don't know what mentally I thought. Maybe either Fabianski's going to return me points or Aubameyang's going to return me points, and I favoured Aubameyang over Fabianski, like majority of people, especially those who shipped out Fabianski. Now Aubameyang failed, but I was confident going in. Obviously with Salah, I know that I've lost out on 11 points with Salah, but I think that I will claw back some of those 11 points because I've missed out on 11 points. So actually no, if you take away the 2, I've lost out on 9 points. So effectively, I've got those 9 points back from Fabianski. Maybe I've lost out on 7. Maybe 2 points I've lost out on, because I think if I'd have brought in a goalkeeper and he got 2, like Schmeichel. No, I'm pretty happy with the way it's panned out. I could have been greedy and I could have gone with Salah, but the Rashford returning the goal is going to get bonus 3. Digne, he's got 9 points again. Wan-Bissaka, I think it's the first time in history. I think it's the first time in history that I think it was I think Pete Smith told me, and it was also your podcast that you did. I watched. I think you mentioned that you've never ever known a defender. Was it you that said it in your podcast, Steve-O? That you've never known a defender lose 2-1 and get 3 bonus points.
Oh yeah, that was that yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was there was a big confusion. Like I said, when I have done the YouTube video on mobile phone, the screen pops up of the chat, and you kind of catch a glimpse of it. And I literally saw somebody, I forget the name. They said,
right,
Wan-Bissaka's getting 3 bonus, and I was like, what, on a losing team or something like that? And there you have it.
Yeah. So amazing. Wan-Bissaka. Now I said, like early on in the season, we were talking about teams and everything like that. I said Wan-Bissaka is going to be known this season as the absolute bargain defender of the whole season. Now, originally, Steve-O, if you remember saying, you actually laughed at that suggestion and you were like, it's Wan-Bissaka for Crystal Palace. He is returning well above his price tag right now. For the first half of the season, he's been really. He's someone that you'd expect to be fodder, but he is someone that you're quite happily and quite comfortably playing your starting 11. Now going on.
Well, can I just?
Yeah.
Let me just interject, like I always like to. Over the last 11, this is what he's done. So 6-6, 1-1, 6-1, and the last 4 it's been 8-2, 6-4.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, then again, he plays for Crystal Palace.
And if you picked him up for 4.0,
Yes.
like I did, I don't know what you guys are doing. Your screens all gone all weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Fabianski, I was thinking of getting rid of him not too long ago, but now he's going to be staying. He's got Bournemouth away and then Wolves away. Not easy games, but what's Fabianski good for? Saves.
Same.
And even if they concede, I could still see him getting 4 or 5 points quite comfortably, especially against Bournemouth, who were a very free-flow attacking team. Now, Salah, we've got to talk about him. You mentioned it yesterday. You said I think your words were essential. We don't really like to use essential because, the whole FPL sort of, the point of it is that you can make different combinations to have success in it. But I do agree. I think that, and I have all season, especially when we were saying, when you were kind of suggesting the early season when Mane was keeping up with Salah, that people could save the money and keep with Mane. Now Mane is just fallen off completely, and I think if anyone's still holding on to Mane, it's they're going to be really kicking themselves and for how they've missed out on so many points. But yeah, in a nutshell, really happy. I think I've been saving all this time and energy to tell you. It's been a while since I've been on the podcast, but we've got a few guys in chat. FPL Boone is in chat. Evening chaps driving right now. Raging foul mood as a Spurs fan. Kane with a knock. Kane with a knock at the end of the game, chaps. One to look forward. I mean,
good. I'm glad he got a knock. Do you know what? I'm glad he got a knock. I'm sick to death of him. I'm sick to death of owning Kane sometimes, and that's exactly the reason. And he could be part of my rage transfer this evening, but we'll go into that later.
Well, the thing is, we'll go into that. And but yeah, as a Spurs fan, I mean, if he was against any other goalkeeper, he would have scored tonight. I'm honestly, having watched the game, David Gea was on, I don't know, he was on another level. Yeah, another level.
Well, let's. Sorry, Dan, go on.
No, what I was going to say about is De Gea, he just stays up so long, particularly with those one-on-one shots. He just constantly, he doesn't go down too early. He's just constantly staying up. And, yeah, fantastic performance.
Right, Dan, I'm going to bring your team up if you want to just run through.
Yeah, let Dan speak. Let's hear Dan.
Sit back.
Senior, you're a main man.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of jumps on the bandwagon with him, and I've not had the returns whatsoever, and I've been really frustrated. And I was even at one point considering getting rid of him, but then I thought, hold on, calm down a minute. Everton's fixtures are good, and it played into my hands today beautifully that Wilson, no offence to Bournemouth fans, he was injured, and he's in the team just below me in our mini league. And also, that obviously nullified Bournemouth's attacking threat quite considerably as well. So, yeah, assist, clean sheet from Digne. Trent Alexander-Arnold, brought him back into my team, did really well earlier in the season. Took out Luke Shaw, so obviously missed out a little bit there, but I do think that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a better option over the next few fixtures. Obviously, because sometimes he's on free kicks, sometimes he's on, corners as well. And Pogba. I really bought Pogba in because, like Jay said, United's fixtures coming up are really good and they're in really good form. I wasn't expecting anything today was a bonus. And for anyone that watches live football on a regular basis, the game's 0-0. You leave the room for 2 or 3 seconds, a goal will always be scored. And that happened to me. And all I could hear was the commentator banging on about Rashford. And I was like, right, Rashford's got me a goal, but who got the assist? And Pogba, the thing with Pogba is he just seems essential to everything for United at the moment. He's at the heart of everything. And I was considering Martial, and I was just thinking, and I'm trying to think ahead a bit more because, like you said, Salah is essential, and I'm trying to weave Salah into my team potentially for next week. But I can't ignore those fixtures we United have got, But really pleased with Rashford. I think, like we said in the last podcast, I don't think Lukaku would make that kind of run that Rashford made today. So, yeah, but overall, fairly happy. Wan-Bissaka, as Jay mentioned, he got his bonus points. He cleared a shot off the line Deulofeu trying to assist Troy Deeney. The shot was cleared off by Wan-Bissaka. Had a really strong performance. Looks really good, but was a little bit frustrating for Deulofeu. Hit the post on a one-on-one. Could have got an assist for Deeney, like I just mentioned. Wasn't really got 2 points. Richarlison as well. Richarlison did really well for me earlier in the season, but he's just trolling me now. Like after that captaincy against Fulham earlier in the season, I can't let that go. And a little bit disappointed with that. Overall, the main thing with this game that surprises me: Aubameyang blank, Kane blank, Rashford returns the points. Out of those three strikers up front, Rashford's the one delivering the value. So, not a bad game week, not brilliant, but we move on. So,
well, you'd be happy to know, Dan, very quickly. You'd be happy to know your score so far is going to be the overall total average. So you're not going to be below average, and you've still got Sterling to play tomorrow as well, who could easily.
Yeah, I was really tempted. I was actually just to finish off. I was tempted to captain him as a little bit of a sort of maverick move. I was very, very tempted, and one of the guys near me in our mini league is captain Sterling. So it's kind of got to that point of the season now where our teams are looking quite similar, and I'm like, even today's game, I want Kane to get something, but I know Steve-O's captained him, so I'm like in between a rock and a hard place. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
And also, as a Spurs fan, you probably were kind of a bit conflicted because obviously, sorry, as an Arsenal fan, yeah. I was just testing you. Don't worry. You're probably a little bit conflicted because obviously you didn't want Spurs to win this evening, but then also United as well. You probably didn't want them catching up with you guys. I mean, because I knew you would bring that up. I mean, just to reflect on Aubameyang, a lot of people watching this will have captained him. 2 out of 3 people here on this podcast captained him. He was just really on the peripheral yesterday. It was Lacazette was through in the centre. In the first half, we had a lot of the game, but he was just like Steve said in the podcast yesterday, his away form has not been brilliant. And yesterday, before I was picking my captain, I was like, yeah, Steve was saying about Aubameyang's away form, but it's West Ham. Their defence is terrible, so surely he'll get some returns. But there was just no creativity yesterday for Arsenal. Real lack of width. I mean, people bang on about our defence. Yeah, there was a mistake at the back, but we were just let down by the lack of creativity, and that was it, really. And Aubameyang didn't really. He was just on the wing, and he was just out there deep, and it was just frustrating day. But still a long season ahead.
Can we, Jason, can you bring up Darren Monday's team? And I want everybody to just stare at whatever platform they're using to watch this. Just stare at the screen and just look at Darren Monday's team, 3rd in our league.
Mm-hmm.
And
not for long.
The whole team so far, barring Wilson, who was injured, has got some form of... I've never seen anything like it. All defence getting returns.
And he played Joe Hart. He played Joe Hart over Fabianski.
Yeah. I think he deliberately did that as well. I think it's one of those where he knows that Joe Hart's not going to play, so he's going to get points off the bench.
Imagine though if he did. Imagine if who's a
I know.
if he came off the bench for the injured Heaton. God, you imagine I've got 1 pointer. That would have been immense. I'd have laughed my head off. But no, he's on 68 pre bonus to Pogba. Is Pogba going to get a bonus? I don't know if he is. No, he's not. He's on 68 plus the 9. So he's still got Sane, and he's got Fraser coming in for Wilson. So 70, 79 plus Sane to play. Really amazing. He's going to be second place now. Going to be second place in our mini league.
And just a quick one on Ben Towler, who's second. Well, he's now going to be 3rd, as you've just mentioned. I laughed yesterday. Now this is flaming karma for you. I laughed about having Calvert-Lewin, and honestly, I didn't even know Calvert-Lewin scored until like 20 minutes. 95th minute. What? And I mocked him. And he was a what was he, like a 90th minute sub or something for Richarlison of all players.
Yeah,
Yeah, I must admit I did chuckle when I saw it, and I was just I was hoping that I was hoping that he would just come on for a 1 point cameo. And when he came on,
Yes.
when I came on, I was just like, yes. But yeah, he's on 52. I mean, it's above average game week. He got the captaincy. He okay with Hazard getting the 5, but ultimately, I think yeah, he's gonna be slipping down to 3rd in the league. Obviously, Darren just having a massive score, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a shake-up. But yeah, so you want to see about what's going on in chat?
Yeah. I was going to say bring up the Elite FPL now as well.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up now. So 1 second.
What are the guys saying in chat?
Right. Well, we've got Vince Chapman. Sorry, we've got FPL Boona saying, "Cherishing my Hazard captain now. Kane's bank today. Stevo after my rant to you on Instagram yesterday." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Hazard turned out better than Kane. And do you know what?
Number 9.
Yeah. I don't know why, but everyone took it for granted that somehow that Tottenham were going to just walk over United, and there's a buzz about United at the moment. You can't get away from it. There's a lot of positivity. Paul Pogba's playing like his old Juventus days. He's starting to show the form and quality that he's got, and everyone dismissed United. Honestly, they did. I would say a lot of the FPL knowledgeable FPL managers were dismissing United. They a lot of people were saying Kane, Son's going to be playing as well. It's going to be a good game. I mean, I did feel that United could get something out of this game. I didn't necessarily think it would be a win, but a 1-1. But yeah, I just want to gloat in the whole fact that United, we're back, baby. Watch out.
When you look at it, though, he came in against Cardiff, Huddersfield, Bournemouth, Newcastle. You couldn't have had it any better. At the FA Cup game against Reading, these are teams that even under Mourinho would have thought they would the past night. You would have thought they would have won. Real. Do you know what? A top fan, I'd be disgusted if that was. I mean, obviously I don't watch the match or anything, but just looking at the most basic statistics and the fact that you're telling me that David De Gea had a storming game, etc. As two people that just watched the game, did United get battered, or was it just a case of actually?
Hold on, let me interject, because we've had for a little bit in the first half. In the first half, United were really solid at the back, and they kept Tottenham at bay. Tottenham had a goal that's allowed offside, whatever, but I think it was kind of an equal tight game in the first half. And then obviously on the counter, a brilliant assist from Pogba and a great goal from Rashford, a great finish. He loves it at Wembley anyway. Always seems to score there. But in the second half, Tottenham they were stretching the play. There was one-on-ones. I have to say, some poor finishing from Tottenham as well, but some brilliant goalkeeping from De Gea as well. I mean, the guy is with his legs and that. I mean, he doesn't even seem to use his hands. He's just stretching out. He's fantastic goalkeeping. So, yeah, I think another day, if Tottenham had the shooting boots on, it could have been a different result. But that's why they've got the best keeper in the world, and this is coming from an Arsenal fan. So, that's why they got the best goalie in the world, and that he wins. How many points is he going to win United this season? Loads of points. So that's my take on it anyway.
Well, going into the game, somebody actually said, I read up on Reddit that someone had discovered that Salah had more clean sheet points than De Gea so far. So going into that game, I did think, obviously even you with Lindelof on the bench, you weren't expecting a clean sheet, but I wasn't expecting a bit of a thrashing. I won all. I think we could hold them off.
I will say that I did break my own rule, which is never bench a premium defender. What did I do? For who? Who did I play? Kika Firmino.
Yeah. I've been burnt by him once already. So yeah, certainly won't be playing him.
Oh, I'm selling him. Oh, I've already done my transfer research all here, and the guys in the community. You're all going to help me.
He's on my bench.
You all better stay in
He's firmly
for
on my
this.
bench. Simon Bellamy says in chat, Steve needs a -20 to make his team better. Oh.
Well, I was going to wildcard the other day, but to be honest, my team's easy to rectify. To bring in Salah, it's not too difficult to bring in Salah.
And Vince Chapman has said, is Rashford a better captaincy than AUBA? Well, this game week, yes, but in general, Vince Chapman's asking, is Rashford a better captaincy than AUBA? And if he's talking about next week,
Aubameyang, sorry.
Yeah, Aubameyang. Yeah, sorry, Aubameyang. So for next week, Brighton at home, Albion, Chelsea at home. Yeah, I would say Rashford is a better captain. Personally, I would say. How about you guys?
No, he's in form, isn't he, at the moment, like you're saying. Aubameyang, good home form, not so brilliant away, but I would say Rashford's a good pick.
Well, I was just going to say, if you want to bring up the Elite FPL League and of course, look at Jack Gleason's team.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up for some reason, Steve.
Well, I know he's got Jimenez playing tomorrow. Right, he's got Jimenez, which I did mention in the chat thing, the pod yesterday, that, you know what, with Wolves' form against the top teams, it wouldn't surprise me if he got something out of that game. Captain, pretty solid team he's got there. Paul Wickett. Point. Oh, wow. He's done what Darren Monday did. He's got, what's that noise, Jason? It sounds like someone got a hoodie wrong.
What?
Sounds like there's a fan.
Saying I got a poor network connection, but the stream's still going. So I think my Skype connection went down a little bit. Anyway.
Paul Wickett has done really well, like Darren Monday, with his defence. Luis Digne, Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka, Fabianski, all there getting the points. And he's got Sane in for tomorrow. Rashford play today. Kane and Son double up. And then we'll just quickly look at Ryan Malone in third spot. He's on 73. 73. And he did mention on the YouTube comment about mentioning Chambers. And yeah, that big fat zero there. But I don't think it really matters when you got Pogba and a Rashford double up. And Dean, you're getting the 9 points there. It's, you know, when you're playing with elite players, when they're getting scores like this, and there's someone like me that's got 30 points, it's pathetic. I mean, your defence, I think, alone has got the same equivalent as my whole team. Blinking awful. Really is bad. But what are the guys briefly saying in chat before we go into what I'm thinking of doing?
Yeah, so apparently we've had some awful sound quality and lag issues. I'm just going to quickly just check the stream health. The stream health saying it's good, so hopefully it's got better now. Let me know if it's improved. We have experienced a bit of a Skype issue. The stream's been up, but the Skype's been causing a bit of an issue for the first time. Yeah, that's Alan Chan in chat. So other than that, it's all quiet. So yeah, So Dan, we heard Steve-O saying he's going to make some changes to his team. Have you got any early ideas? Have you got any thoughts that you've got going into this week?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, just to say, coming into this particular game week, I was very tempted to get Salah in, but the problem I had was that I'd have to sacrifice Kane or Aubameyang or possibly Sterling. So I've kind of kept patient with Sterling, but I was looking at getting an Arnautovic in, but now he's leaving to go to China, basically. More or less seems to be confirmed that he's going. So that was a bit of a hindrance. It's just my goalkeeper. I was so pissed off when Schmeichel... I just knew it. I just knew the fact that Leicester, they keep a clean sheet away to Everton and away to Chelsea. And even looking at, when you got instinct, just tells you. I looked at it and I thought, home to Southampton, I bet I'll concede. And they conceded twice. So, and he's 5 million. So I'm thinking, I keep saying about a new goalkeeper and I keep sticking with Schmeichel. But yeah, could do with a new goalkeeper, I think. And to get Salah in, that's
So,
kind of my rough moment.
Vince Chapman has asked you, Dan. We haven't heard from you about the West Ham game. You're keeping quiet.
I've said it. He's trolling me. I've already said about the West Ham. He's trying to get a reaction. He's getting a fucking reaction.
So do you think that the Blood Brothers from Arsenal Fan TV could have played better against West Ham?
I've been watching that. Actually, it's very enjoyable. But
it came up on my recommended. I don't know why. I don't even like Arsenal.
Yeah, you're probably watching it all the time. No, right, okay, this is my breakdown of the game. In the first half, I was there watching the game in the pub. I was watching it. I was like, another bloke in the pub said, yeah, we've got this game for the take. And I was like, yeah, pretty much, if we want it. Had all the space. Iwobi was playing really well, driving him. Kolasinac and Iwobi, I mean, obviously interesting position. Kolasinac was just causing trouble down that left wing, linking up. And I was thinking, this game's there for the taking. But the problem we've got is, I don't know what's going on with Ozil. I mean, he's had a back injury, a knee injury. He wanted to play Fortnite one evening, so he was allowed not to play. I just don't get it. And he's not even on the bench.
He was fit though, wasn't he? He was fit. Didn't he tweet or something saying, I'm fit, good training session?
Yeah, Gunners and all that on Twitter or Instagram, whatever bloody hell he's using. But the problem is, when Ozil's not playing, there's not really the creativity there. The only creativity we had was from Aaron Ramsey, who's obviously going to be leaving either this month or probably the end of the season. So it says a lot when the most creative source is, Ramsey. But the issue is, play Lacazette, play Aubameyang, and then for some reason he plays Guendouzi and Granit Xhaka in the midfield. So that creativity once again gets stifled. Aubameyang's out in the wing. He's kind of isolated a little bit, and he's on the peripheral quite a lot. He's not really getting involved. I don't know why Torreira didn't play. Maitland-Niles, he's got promise, but once again he looked a bit weak on the wing. And Declan Rice put in a great performance. He was tackling Aubameyang and he got the goal. And do you know what really? I'm not going to swear again. What really stings is Samir Nasri. He's come back out of nowhere.
Didn't you say that the other day as well?
Poetic justice.
It's not poetic justice. It's 5.5 million, and he's got his normal haircut back. And I was thinking, he looks like and he played him and Anderson and he got the assist. Him and Anderson, the way they're linking up, could be a very astute signing by Pellegrini. And going forward, if you want a differential option in your midfield, I hate to say it, but that Samir Nasri could be. I mean, De La Feu is the same price. He's not really getting me the return, so who knows? Might have to sign up.
Dan, did you FPL Boona saying? Did you see Mia Khalifa destroy Guendouzi on Twitter?
Yeah, probably. The only reason she supports West Ham is because of Green Street, which is a film I really like. But Guendouzi is a young player. I don't know. The people in chat are just trying to troll me out.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
I'm sure Mia Khalifa's been destroyed enough in her own life. So it's time for her to role reversal or something. So.
But the thing is with Arsenal, I think they've been on such an up lately, and obviously there's been a lot of happy Arsenal fans. I think now it's kind of a bit of a reality check, and it's just a bit of like pub humour, really, just poking a bit of fun. West Ham, I mean, they played well, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It was just purely the midfield that let Arsenal down. They weren't set up properly in midfield. Lacazette and Aubameyang, they just weren't in the game enough. I feel that if the midfield had been sussed out quicker, it could have been a different story. But unfortunately, Emery decided to go with a plan in it, and it didn't pay off. Emery out now. Yeah, he's trying to wind you up. John McEwen says, I did FPL Boona for Ericsson. So I got rid of Rice.
I mean, just to throw it back out at the chat. Obviously, Son, it is his final game. Now he's off to the Asia Cup to help South Korea win it and whatnot. But what do people think about Tottenham options with some good fixtures going forwards? Are we looking at midfield? Obviously, Ericsson, Moore, Dele Alli. Are people in chat considering getting them in, or are they looking at other teams or options?
If Kane drops
what
in
you
price,
guys?
I might.
Yeah, potentially, but the next few fixtures for Tottenham are good.
They are, but yeah.
The question for you, Dan, is quite simply this: for someone like myself or you who've got the same front line, which is who do you get rid of, Aubameyang or Kane? Because Kane, right? So Kane's next fixtures minus Son is this: Fulham away, Watford at home, Newcastle at home. Let's just take those three as an example. Whereas Aubameyang has got Chelsea obviously up next. Can I see him scoring? Yeah, why not? Then it's Cardiff at home, Man City away. So the immediate three fixtures following Son's departure is quite clearly in Kane's favour from a fixture point of view. But for me personally, God, it's such a difficult one. Do you mind if I just get on with it now? Ask the community now what I'm going to be wanting to want help from them, because
Go away. Yeah,
I've got a few options here where I'm doing this live. I'm doing this right now. So
let's get your team up, just so
because
people can see
I know
what you got.
price. I know. Let's be honest here. Salah probably isn't going to go up in price, and do you know what? I don't think I'd captain him anyway. Even if I got him in, I don't think I'd captain him next week. I'd captain Kane because Fulham are absolutely atrocious, and they're just there for the taking. And Spurs away from home are, as we know, absolutely phenomenal. So I've got a few options here, and if anybody in the community can help me out, then please do. So a first one, which I was thinking of actually doing almost now, of a rage transfer was... Right, so it's always going to be Son out, okay? So, Son out for Pogba, Kolasinac out for Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I'll then have a double up of Liverpool.
Me.
Right, okay. So I'd have a double Liverpool and Lindelof moving forward. If I didn't want to do that, I was thinking of doing Kika Firmino and Kolasinac out for Trent Alexander-Arnold and Bednarak. That'd be for free. If I wanted to do, though, a -8, which I don't want to do, it would be Kika, Kolo, Kane and Son out for Trent, Bednarak, Salah and a striker, but I don't know who. And then another one would be the usual Kika Firmino, Kolasinac and Son for a -4 out for Pogba, Bednarak and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Me personally, I think I'm probably going to go with Kolasinac and Son out for Pogba and Trent Alexander-Arnold for the simple fact that I just think that the fact that I won't be captaining Salah next week says to me that I could probably hold off for a bit. It doesn't worry me as such. And I was reading something today that actually, if Salah didn't have any of the penalties, he wouldn't actually be returning that much. But I'm not suggesting for 1 minute Salah isn't essential. He is essential, no matter what. But if you want to get him in my case, it's a case of do I get rid of Aubameyang or Kane, replacing Son with Salah. But yeah, there it is. What do you think?
Well, we've got chat. I think reacting to your thought process. Is Kane captain this week? Surely. I mean, I don't own Kane, but certainly if I did own him and he isn't injured, well, I don't think he will be. He will be a very favourite captain choice. However, listening to what you're saying about those moves, I certainly wouldn't take a -8 with 2 bank transfers. I think that's a bit overkill. But honestly, the Pogba move for Son, Trent Alexander move for Kolasinac, both good moves in my opinion. Keep the rest of your team. Keep the Rashford, Aubameyang, Kane. They're 3 strikers that are pivotal for the team. No, the guys in chat, Vince Chapman says get Jimenez in and Salah. That's the thing. If you want Salah in your team, you're going to have to sacrifice either Aubameyang or Kane. And, without doing too much damage, it's probably going to have to be Kane. But those fixtures are nice for Tottenham. So it means you're gonna have a real cheap defender like what did you say, Bedniak?
Bednarak. Yeah.
Bednarak, yeah.
Sounds like a character. Oh,
No, I could. No. I could. Doing it now live. I could do for free. Salah in for Son, Aubameyang out, and I could bring in Jimenez wherever he is on the screen. I could bring in Jimenez.
Yeah.
I could actually bring.
Yeah. So Jimenez in. Get Jimenez and Salah in. Vince Chapman says that's his. FPL Buna says. Yeah, for those.
For Aubameyang.
Yeah.
For Aubameyang.
Well, I assume because so I do 2 transfer Stevo. I do 2 free transfer Stevo hits for defenders are rarely worth it. Absolutely, that's FPL Boone is on about doing a Hazard and Son. See, people getting rid of Hazard now. They're thinking of getting rid of, especially those who don't own Salah. It's a good route into getting Salah, freeing up the funds. But Hazard better than Eriksen? I would say he is. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Of course he is. These are madness thought processes. That of course Hazard. He's keep everything Chelsea do.
I think when you said you're going to do rage transfers, I always say to everybody that says the word rage, I would always be cautious and calm and collected. I mean, I've done it in the past where I woke up one morning and I was just like, oh, I need to do these transfers, and then I've done them and I've not thought about it, and I've then stewed for like 4 or 5 days and been thinking, second guessing myself. I feel that you need to be 100% and use just logic and apply FPL reasoning to what you're going to do. I do think though that obviously you need to get rid of Son, and Kolasinac isn't, he's a great attacking threat, but the chances of clean sheets for Arsenal are about as reasonable as me getting a date with Mia Khalifa. We got Simon Bellamy saying that DIGNE instead of Jimenez. I wouldn't.
They've had one. Arsenal have had 1 clean sheet this season. Is that right? Or am I just looking at the stats?
No, we've had 2. How amazing! I think it's 2 or something. Like against Watford and Everton. And to be honest with you, they were pretty lucky. Well, not lucky, but Czech played the game of his life, and Isaac's success should have scored for Watford that game, but no.
So
Notorious, no, this is the second person that said it now. Now, I didn't watch the absolute end of the game. I turned it off because I had to set up things for the podcast. But Notorious Nerd has just said in chat now that it's sad to see Kane limping off. Looks out for a few weeks. Now, Kane isn't the sort of person that would just limp off the field. We need to monitor that, especially for those people who own Kane and are looking to bring him in. Maybe hold off Steve-O, just in case there is an injury there over the next few days. If you can afford to, price rises, I would expect Pogba possibly now is going to be favourite to go up.
Yeah, that was. I mean, with Pogba, that was one of the. I'm not sort of blowing my own trumpet, so to speak, but that was one of the reasons I brought him in this game week, just anticipating the fact that his price is going to shoot up with these fixtures. But if this is an injury to Kane, then like these fixtures coming up, it's like, who do you pick? I mean, no Son and no Kane. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of just hypothetically speaking here, but Eriksen, Ali, Llorente, differential. I don't know, but it'd be a bit concerning if Kane was injured from an FPL point of view.
I'm just going through like possible combinations and various other things. I'm even looking at potentially. I mean, this isn't too well. No, it is. It's rubbish, really. Maybe going in with a 3-5-2 formation with Aubameyang and Rashford. This is if Kane was injured. Let's just say he was ruled out. So I'd have Aubameyang and Rashford as my main 2, Camara as my 3rd striker. It doesn't really matter. But then I'd have a 5th spot for 8.1 for my midfielders, and I could do that for a -4. I'd have Salah in. Oh, I know Pogba's too expensive. Damn. Yeah, Pogba's just that bit too expensive. He's 8.4. Blast. Oh, that's annoying.
The thing is,
Well, then,
one thing I will say about your team is having both Aubameyang and Kane is a lot of money. and I've said it for the last few game weeks now, that I do think only having one expensive striker, because you get so much value for money with midfielders getting the clean sheet points.
Sorry, Jason. Just a quick live one. What do people think of this for a -8? Kika Familia out, Son, KANE, and Kane out. This is all based on Kane's injury. I'd have a 3-5-2. My midfield would be Felipe Anderson, Pogba, Sterling, Salah, Richarlison. My defence, my main 3 defenders would be Lindelof, Kolasinac, and Robertson. But my other defender that I bring in would be Bednarak. I could do that exactly right now for a -8.
Who would come in for Kane?
Again, these are just.
Who would come in for Kane?
It would be Camera, but I'd be replacing my 2 midfielders with Pogba and Salah.
Right, so you'd go with Son to Pogba and Felipe Anderson to Salah.
KANE to Salah.
Oh,
yeah.
KANE to. Oh, wow. Okay.
But this is my point. So I'd be able to upgrade massively, but my defence is then suffering quite heavily at that point. My personal.
Sorry, just to interject, as you like to say, this is the thing with bringing Salah in. I know it's like a very brave FPL manager that's not going to have Salah in, but it just upsets the balance of your team so much because of his value or his price. Sorry, so this is the thing.
What do you mean by that, Dan? Because in reality, if I was to bring in Salah, actually my team would be probably more balanced without having Kane and Aubameyang in it.
But you're like you were saying about your third choice striker being Camera. I mean, at the moment, like I say, you got Rashford, Aubameyang.
Not for -8. I wouldn't do that for -8.
There's only so much budget you can have, and then Bednarak and people like that.
You can have Camera and Bednarak in your team and then have a -8 as well. No.
Some of these, like we were saying about Wan-Bissaka right at the start, some of these budget options have just been chipping away with points here and there, and even like I know he's not done well this game week, but De La Feu in the midfield. It's giving me a headache thinking about this. But Salah is pretty much essential for these game weeks coming up, but it does, throw it off a little bit.
What are you two thoughts on getting rid of Sterling? I mean, Sterling's the forgotten man. He's a player which tomorrow, I'm telling you now, tomorrow night is Tester. It's as simple as it gets.
I was kind of considering sacrificing Sterling, but then I thought, hold on a minute. He's got an assist in the last game, assist in the game prior to that. He was rested for the FA Cup game, which they won about 200-0 anyway, and the bloody Carabao Cup or whatever the hell it's called now, semi-final. So good home form throughout the season, home fixture with Wolves, and then I think they've got, was it Huddersfield after that? And
Huddersfield, Newcastle away, but then it's Arsenal and Chelsea at home.
I can see it, obviously with this Wolves game coming up, I can see him returning in all 4 fixtures, assists, and he could have scored against Liverpool. You're very close to scoring. So he's still getting in the right positions. He's still getting assists. It's tough, but I'd hold on to Sterling for now. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so you pay the extra. So Notorious Nerd says you pay the extra money for Salah to avoid the captaincy headache. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I didn't captain him this week, but the thing is, right, is that sooner or later, and it's going to be sooner, you're going to suffer for not having Salah in your team, and I think a lot of people are going to be rushing to get him in. So there's going to be probably another price rise as well. I would prioritise getting Salah in, but I wouldn't recommend doing a -8 to get him in. So that would mean either Aubameyang downgrade and then a Son upgrade. Use those 2 free transfers to get Son to Salah, Aubameyang or Kane down to Jimenez. I would do that.
Well, looking at what I know and going off what I always know, the simple thing that I'm looking at right this second is probably Son out for Salah and Aubameyang out for Jimenez. They're the two. That's the two that looks to be the most logical. But I mean, just to throw a spanner in the works slightly, if I didn't want Salah, but I feel that the Alexander-Arnold and Robertson double-up could cover Salah's points, I'd still have Aubameyang in the team and Kane, but I would have Pogba instead of Salah. And it's then a case of, right, can Pogba then, within reason, cover the points that Salah will be getting, along with Trent Alexander-Arnold, but my captaincy options would always be Kane or Aubameyang. And like I said, Kane away to Fulham should be a minimum of a goal. But we all know what happens when Lucas Moura's back. He is absolutely dreadful. We know this.
Well, Boona says in chat that he wouldn't recommend getting any Tottenham in. And to be honest with you, going on what you're saying, with Moura coming back into the fray, with Son being away for the Asia Games, I can't look at Tottenham now. I was considering Kane, but I just can't afford to get Kane into my team with Salah. Having Salah and Kane is just too hard to have a balanced team. So I can't get Kane in.
I'm just thinking, Steve-O, listen to your own gut instinct. And what have I been saying for the past couple of podcasts, which is once Son goes, I don't think Kane's returns, they're going to dwindle now. And I'm thinking, actually, you know what? I could do just Son to Salah, Kane to Jimenez. Just quite as simple as that, really. I've got 7.9 in the bank as it stands, but that's without Kane in the team. So I've got Salah there, but Kane isn't there at the moment.
I will just say that if you do that, our teams are going to look really similar. But
where are you in the world, Jason? 2000. So I'm not exactly going to be.
Well, I'm only thinking as a catching up sort of scenario, because you did prior to this weekend. Prior to this weekend, you did catch me in a couple of weeks in a row. But no,
that could be done over various captains and stuff.
Yeah. I do think that you've got some great options to transfer. You've got 2 free transfers, which is a great advantage. And I would just hold off, because we've Simon Bellamy in chat saying that Kane's going to be out for 2 weeks. He's read it somewhere now. I'd like to know where he's read it, because I think the only person that knows that is the Tottenham physio, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't tweeted anything out. But please let me know. Kelwy in chat, Kelwy2076 says that Kane's injured as well. This whole Kane injury thing, I've completely missed it because I was setting up the podcast. But if he is out for 2 weeks, then it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it? Kane out, Jimenez in, or someone, Jimenez or another 6.5 striker, Son out, Salah in. It solves your headache. You don't have to take a -4, -8. That would be my recommendation. Now, in chat, FPL Boona's disagreeing with me. He says that Salah plus Kane is very doable with a strong team.
Right, okay, Jason, right? Maurizio Pochettino on whether Harry Kane has picked up an injury or not. That is my worry. That is our worry. It was a bad tackle. Now there's a bit of swelling. We'll need to assess in the next few days. He did limp off at the end of the match. And there we are. And obviously he had that in the Carabao Cup that me and Dan were watching. He also kind of pulled up with not a hamstring, but he did pull with a hamstring the other day. So there we are.
But the thing is, if tomorrow Aguero gets two goals or a hat trick, everyone's going to be going Kane to Aguero, and jumping back onto Man City. So I would hold off. Don't do any transfers now. Wait and see what happens tomorrow, and just reassess. Simon Bellamy's got a thing about Troy Deeney. I don't know. Captain him, Simon. Go on.
Right, well, there we are. We went from me doing a definite transfer to hold off, Steve. Don't bother doing it. Just calm down and relax.
Well, yeah. You don't know. You just try and get a bit more information before you jump into that the hot water pool. But yeah, I'm exhausted for talking now.
Well, we all know that tonight, that based on this information and how, well, let's be honest here, how active the FPL community are by getting rid of players, Kane may go down in price by 0.1 tonight. You never know. In fact, I'll look now, and ironically, Kane has been brought in by 32,000 so far. Son is the main one. that Son is obviously going to be the main player that's going to be gone. I really don't want to lose any value on him whatsoever. So it may be a case of I end up doing almost a -4 by getting rid of Son, Kane and KANE and bringing in Salah, Pogba and whoever I can. In fact, I'll just do it now quickly. But is there what other thoughts are there in chat, Jason, while I'm just going over this?
Yeah, so Notorious Nerd is saying he's holding his Aubameyang to Rashford transfer to see how Aguero performs tomorrow. I think that's wise because I think Man City are going to be back on the up again. Obviously, they're going to want to get first place. The Kane injury looks a real thing. Be cautious with your transfers, chaps. FPL Boona, Tottenham fan. And he's also said that on tangent, anyone into snooker will watch it today. Went to the Masters and Ali Pally today, classics. I don't follow snooker.
Really? Oh, really? Wow, nice. Always wanted to go to a live snooker event, but wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've not really been into snooker, but I can't share the enthusiasm there, FPL Boona, unfortunately. But Steve, it's a
bit more relaxing maybe than FPL. Maybe need to watch some darts or watch some snooker or just play some
darts.
Darts
is just beers, isn't it? But yeah, I was disappointed with Richarlison today. I had a bit of a bittersweet with DIGNE and Richarlison owner, but yeah, I think we've covered anything. I mean, is there anything you guys want to say before we start to wind down the podcast? We've been going for an hour now, just over an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think just wind it down there. I mean, obviously Steve was going to do these rage transfers, but he's kind of take a step back. And I think a lot of people watching, when you have a bad game week or you're a bit disappointed with your game week, it's easy to just want to do transfers there and then, but it's kind of probably a bit better to take a bit of a breather, wait for the game week to finish and just, see what the press conferences are saying and then breathe and actually do your transfers. But I don't know if we have not got any more comments in the chat, then I think we're pretty much going to wrap it up. If you're watching this on the replay, please do subscribe. It helps our channel grow, and we really appreciate it. Any comments, any feedback, please let us know. Give the video a thumbs up, and also connect with us on Instagram at FPL. We do some extra videos there. Any midweek games, we sometimes do a little preview and talk about our team. So it'd be good to connect with you on there. But chaps, any final thoughts?
It's a pleasure to be back with you guys, and it's just setting up the stream, getting a new fresh feel to it. With you'll see, guys, when I've uploaded it. It's going to be back. It seems like a while ago when we were doing the preview for Game Week 20, whatever it was. But yeah, looking forward to the preview for Game Week 23. And Steve-O, do you want to end off with saying anything?
Yeah, basically, I'm just going to state the blinking obvious for anybody there that's in the chat now that took their time out to watch the experiment that I did yesterday. If anybody doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about, yesterday I just did an experiment where I thought I'd do a live reaction while the games were ending last night. So between 4:30 and 10 to 5, I was just going through everything. There was no technology like there is right now that you can see in front of you. It was just purely me. Let's be honest here, the people that watched it were our hardcore fans, and genuinely from the three of us, we're really, really grateful that you took the time out to be part of this experiment. The feedback that we got was absolutely out of this world, to be honest with you. It seemed really, really positive. The three of us will be discussing doing something like that in the near future. But as I explained several times, this ain't going to be next week. It ain't going to be in a month's time, but we don't know yet. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately, Jason's the tech guy. He'd be able to do all the graphics and everything, and it'd probably be most likely him to do it because me and Dan are always too busy on a Saturday, unfortunately, during 3 p.m. kickoffs. But we'll keep you informed on that through all the usual Instagram posts that we do at Elite FPL if you're not a follower. Also, if anybody's watching this has enjoyed what we've done so far, enjoyed what we did yesterday or over the last few weeks, and you haven't subscribed, please do. We've really been growing phenomenally over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and we're really, really proud of the community that we're building. We all know that you guys like to chat with each other in obviously the live chat, and it really does come across whenever I go back reviewing the footage and the podcast itself. It really helps out to learn what you guys are thinking of this podcast and where we can improve on and where we can take things forward. So thank you very much. That's my speech over with again. So yeah, goodbye all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Thank you.